And if you don't know, now you know. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and today we're in Westminster, Colorado. I am here with Rebound Fitness. Since 2013, they have designed transitional recreation programs to help those who have been injured and have disabling conditions. I'm here with Matt, who is a certified personal trainer, certified in also therapeutic recreation. Right. Share with me a little bit, Matt. Let's start off, first of all, go back. What is it that got you involved in this type of industry?
So in 1989, I was involved in an automobile accident where I sustained a traumatic brain injury myself, which is what got me into a helping profession such as this. I have lived through a disabling condition. I've had setbacks from that in my life where I know what it feels like to be injured, to have a disability. After that, I went back to school for therapeutic recreation, got my degree in recreation therapy, became a certified recreation therapist, worked with people with all types of disabling conditions for many years with Denver Parks and Recreation. Time came to make a change from that, and I went into personal training, as this is. Rebound Fitness is personal training, but my specialty with Rebound Fitness, and because of that time, is working with people that have had recent injuries or that have chronic disabling conditions. Gives me a great sense of fulfillment to help people like this.
Absolutely. This was a personal journey, basically, that took you from a personal journey onto a professional. Let me ask you this. As someone who's been injured, they obviously realize soon enough that after physical therapy, life goes on. And basically, this is basically beyond physical therapy, getting them back to a state of being in good health, possibly even better than they were to begin with. Is that something that you enjoy?
Exactly. That's what I call what I do. I call what I do as post-therapy training. So for people that have been in therapy, and then they get discharged, they go through me, and then I help these people move into a state of independence to be able to continue to work on themselves, on their condition that they have. So it's extremely fulfilling for me.
Do you find that people who have been injured before are kind of keenly more aware that fitness is important, our health is important, because they've gone through something like that has set them back, and now realize that probably a proactive approach is something that should be taken into consideration?
Yes, that's absolutely true. People that have been in a situation like I've been into, that have been injured, that have had a disabling condition, usually they know what they used to be like. That's how I was. I know what I used to be able to do. And yeah, it is very hard. And you try so hard to get back to that, at the same level that you were at before. You may not be able to make it back to that place, that original where they were, but to get as close to that as they can, and to have that feeling of,
obviously, it seems like people who have been injured before, they have kind of more of a keen awareness that fitness is very important, their health is very important, because obviously they realize what they were before, and they're striving to get back to that point.
Yes, that's exactly right. I went through the same thing myself. remembered what I used to be able to do before my brain injury. And this is how a lot of people are. They knew, if they've gone through a situation like this, they know what they used to have, what the way they used to be able to move, the way they used to have strength and balance and any kind of skill in life like that they've lost. That's what I try to teach people, is to learn ways to kind of regain those skills, to learn to regain what they had, that condition that they've lost.
For me, it's very inspiring because of the fact these are things that we all took for granted. It's hard enough for many of us just to get into the gym. But once we get to the gym, it's all good. For these folks, it's not that way. I mean, getting to the gym is half the battle. Once they get to the gym, they realize that some of these machines are overwhelming. It can be frustrating to realize that I wasn't able to do what I did before. Why is this a good time that you feel is probably not the best time to go out alone?
You're exactly right about that. People come in, they come into a gym, and they maybe have had a period of time where what I'm getting at. They've had a period of time where their sense of self-esteem, their sense of accomplishment has been reduced greatly by what they've been through. They come walking into a gym. Usually they get discharged from therapy with a packet of materials that they are expected to learn and to keep making improvements for themselves. They walk into a gym with a packet of materials, and they see everybody working out. Everybody knows what they're supposed to be doing, except these people may not know what they're supposed to be doing. It can be very intimidating.
Like I say, you've been there yourself.
Yes.
and to experience some of these people and realize, you sometimes wonder how many of them walk away and decide not even to go forth with it.
Very common, very common. People walk in, they say they don't want to be there. They walk in, they see all sorts of super fit people, all sorts of good looking people, because we've seen that in a gym, right? They're good looking people. These people may have a changed appearance. They have different gait. Their bodies don't work like they used to be able to work, and it's very intimidating for people. And as I've seen many times, people drop out.
I would see that. These folks many of them have gone through physical therapy. Now the physical therapy's over. They're ready to get on with life. They're used to one-on-one supervision. So what you've put together for them is something that's pretty comfortable. Tell me about one-on-one and why that works for you.
One-on-one works for me because that's how I see, in my personal job, how I see the most progress made by clients that I work with, by patients that I work with, past patients that I work with. That's where I see it's the most rewarding for me.
You get to know them. You also get to know them. I imagine these folks start out as your clients, but they sooner pretty much become friends and family to you.
You develop a relationship with clients. You really do. I mean, you learn personal stories of every client that you work with. And I'm able to, because of what I've been through, I'm able to easily identify with what they've gone through, as well as being able to say, hey, I know I've been there. This is what you can expect. I can offer insight and I can offer advice for people that are going through something like this, and be able to hopefully encourage. Offer encouragement is the biggest thing.
Absolutely. Let's talk about some of the things that you are able to help folks with. Let's start off, number one, with what you mentioned, strengthening. Why is it important that we strengthen the muscles again, the bone density, that type of thing, to prevent any kind of injury again?
Right. Strengthening is very important because, well, really, I mean, I tell this to everybody they work with, the stronger you are, the easier it is to move. No matter what you've had, no matter what's happened to you, whatever body structure you have had injury in, to increase the strengthening and flexibility of that area, simply put, makes it easier to move.
And obviously, as we look at somebody, we now realize that being healthy is more than just how you look. I mean, obviously, we've got to make sure our body is working optimally. Why is cardio something that you make sure and place in there as well?
Cardiovascular is as important as strengthening. Your heart is the most important muscle in your body. The greater stamina you have, the easier it is to move. The more stamina you have, the longer you're able to move, go. I mean, it's not that everybody is doing athletic endeavors all the time. But no matter what you're doing, the more stamina you have, the better your heart is. Once again, the easier it is to move.
It's got to be exciting for you, especially in elderly people, when they start realizing that the quality of their life is much easier when they're fit. It's a lot easier when they're healthy. A lot of these folks maybe even were injured because of a fall. Now they're fearful of falling again. How important is teaching them balance, flexibility, that type of thing?
Exactly. I do a lot of that. Many of the people that I work with are older adults, and there's a huge wave of senior fitness that's happening in our country in the last 20 years. Older adults are realizing what I just talked about. The stronger you are, the better your heart is, the easier it is to move. Balance exercises that I do with so many people are very, very important. Older people, older adults worry about their balance, they worry about their stability, and as we know, if you fall and break something as an older adult, the chance or the amount of time that it takes to recover is much, much longer for that thing. The stronger you are, the more stamina you have. If something like this were to happen, unfortunately, your recovery time would be quicker.
Let me ask you this, as far as, this is a supervised program with them. You're basically setting up goals for them, setting up goals that they can hit and eventually be able to go out on their own and go it alone without you. Is it exciting for you to see somebody get to that point where they are able to move along?
It's extremely fulfilling for me. That's why I do what I do. I've been through a situation like this myself, and it makes me so happy, so fulfilled to see someone be able to learn what I've taught them and to move past that. It really makes so much difference for me.
That is wonderful. We've discussed, obviously, some of the things that you work on with these folks. What we haven't discussed is how convenient you make it. Because tell me, where does this actually take place? Is this convenient for them because they choose the location?
Yeah, I try to make this as convenient as possible. I'm a mobile service, so I am able to work out of people's homes if they require that. Actually, what happens with a lot of times is that people aren't willing to go into, they're not ready to step foot into a gym at some point. So I am able to work out of people's homes with whatever services they're looking for. I am also able to work out of various recreation centers, hopefully that are convenient to a client. So then at some point they're able to move into that center and be able to stay at the center. My whole goal is to get people to make this as convenient as possible for people to do, which is what keeps people going on their own after that.
They have enough challenges as it is that will keep them from doing these things. So you're really just trying to lay down the groundwork for them and make it easy for them. Not only that, but you're unique because of the fact you're able to relate with them, and they understand and know that you've gone through that as well. Tell me what takes place at the initial assessment. What do you sit down from them? What do you learn at that point?
Initial assessment involves a detailed conversation of what kind of setbacks, surgeries, injuries they've experienced, what they're looking for in terms of making improvements, and then we talk about setting goals. What kind of goals do they have? Where would they like to get from where they are right now at this point, where we sit? Where would they like to be a month from now, 5 months from now, 6 months from now, like that? Setting goals is all about goal setting. Goals are constantly revised as well as people make improvements to be able to, their goals are revised so people can be able to continue making improvements and continue getting hopefully beyond where they hope they would be.
We're talking about water therapy. These are a lot of different areas that people enjoy doing, but maybe, once again, they need some help with. You're there to help them with all those.
Exactly. A lot of people that have been through a situation like I've been through and what I've seen with many people, they need assistance to get started. They need ideas to know what to do, to be able to work on themselves. They need that guidance, and that's what I provide, is the guidance that people are looking for.
I noticed one of the things on your cards, it says all ages and all abilities. Because we've talked about people who have gone through disabilities, they've gone through injuries, but let's be real, this would work for almost anyone that is overwhelmed to walk in that gym. I know for myself, I walk into a gym, it feels like everyone's looking at me, I'm not sure how to use this particular piece of machinery. Is that kind of exciting for people when they reach out to you, kind of just maybe needing a kickstart or a kind of an education on the front end?
Absolutely, absolutely. I've worked with so many different types of people and all ages as well. I worked with very young. Currently, I work mainly with older adults, but I work with many, many different types of ages. I worked with so many types of disabilities, from strokes, multiple sclerosis, traumatic brain injury, which is actually my specialty. I've worked with people that are that are at a place in their life when they're very obese and they are intimidated, helping them to regain cardiovascular fitness, burning calories to lose the weight that they're looking for, which makes such a difference for so many people like that.
I feel this is basically a profession that you began, but I also have a great feeling this is a calling that you're really drawn to. Really, to you, it's about helping other people. If you think back when this happened to you, do you kind of wish there was somebody like yourself in your corner back at that moment?
Absolutely, absolutely. What I am in, what I call, and a lot of people do, what they call this is a helping profession. Most people that get into helping professions are there for a reason. My reason was a traumatic brain injury. I felt that I should be able to make some use of what happened to me for people down and throughout my life after that, and it's made all the difference for me.
Once again, this is a gentleman that basically has gone through a lot of setbacks himself. He understands what it feels like to walk into that gym, understand what it feels like to look in the mirror and basically see something different that you didn't see before. Basically understands what it means to basically get back up again and bring yourself back into health and fitness. That is, once again, Rebound Fitness since 2013, located right here, serving you in the Denver, Colorado area. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and today we're in Centennial, Colorado. I am here at My Buddy and Me. Since 2012, this natural pet store has been providing food, supplements, treats, and toys for your pets here in the local area. I'm here with Amy. Thanks so much for joining us here today. Let's start off a little bit about yourself. Share with me how this all got started for you.
Well, about 5 years ago, we started off with the Stymie Canine Cancer Foundation, and I traveled nationwide to help people who couldn't afford pet cancer treatment for their pets. After traveling over and over, I realized I might as well just open up a pet store and raise funds this way instead.
Interesting. So the concept came out of a need on the front end, first of all, and then you decided this would be the best approach for that. Obviously, our pets are like family to us. Your specialty is that of cats and dogs. Were you a pet owner before you actually got involved in this?
Yes, I had a pet named Stymie. I have several pets, but I have a pet named Stymie who passed of cancer, and when he was diagnosed, I realized, what would I do if I didn't have pet insurance, or what would I do if I didn't have the money? And I wanted to help other people, so I found the foundation.
Let me ask you this. Obviously, food for cats and dogs. How is the food kind of different here compared to what they might find at the big box stores or even at the local supermarket?
We keep more natural products in store to help the supplements so the dogs can better digest the foods. We found that through pet cancer treatments and one of the main things is to focus on the nutrition that we're feeding our dogs to kind of support the immune system as they go through cancer or anything. So we wanted to bring in more natural products, more small names, more mom and pops, kind of our style of our store as well.
Absolutely. Let me ask you this. Obviously important to you is to keep the prices reasonable, affordable. I understand you probably work with a pretty skeleton crew here, people putting in a lot of hours. Is that important to you to make sure the prices are reasonable for folks?
Absolutely. We guarantee our prices. We make sure we are the less expensive of anywhere else. If somebody finds it for less, we will price match. We try and pride ourselves on not having the overhead that most mom and pop stores have. We have 100% volunteers. So nobody gets paid salary. None of our board members are paid salaries. So we keep our cost as low as possible.
That is great. For folks out there that maybe have never had a pet before, can they come in and are you able to kind of educate them a little bit as to what they need for their pet, especially a young pet or an older pet? Quite a big difference there, I imagine.
Oh, absolutely. We are a plethora of information. We will give them as much or as little as they want. We'll answer every question that they need. And if we don't know the answer, we have no problems getting on the internet and doing the research for them and helping them out as well.
That is great. Share with me some of the brands that you actually trust. Did you go out and hand pick all of these? And are they brands that people even know about? Or you guys had to go dig kind of deep to find some of these?
Well, when we first started out, it was kind of digging deep. I had to figure out what was the best thing. It kind of started, well, people are asking me, what do I need to feed my dog? What should I give my dog? So I started researching and finding some really good brands. Fromm's is a mom and pop. They have had 0 recalls other than one recently, and it was just a minor recall. We try and keep that in mind of which foods we're giving. So we love Fromm's. Merrick's another one. Garth Merrick stands behind his brand. He really guarantees what food's going in it, what supplements are going in it. Taste of Wild's another one you're not going to find in your big pet stores at all. And that's another one. The grandfather's son was my rep. And just learning about the nutritions, learning about what our customers need also was a big driver. So really we based it on what customers came in and started asking for, what their needs were, and we'd research it and make sure that it would match our needs as well as their needs.
Obviously, one of the things that's important to you is not only helping with pets that have disease or hurting out there, but also a preventative measure, keeping them healthy on the front end. You had mentioned that of supplements. How important are supplements to pets, and when do we need to actually add those to the diet?
You know, we always recommend going to your vet first. We're not, just because you never know what your dog's going through, but we do have the supplements for the joints. It's always good to keep a glucosamine in your diet. It's most of the foods that we do carry have most of the nutrients and the vitamins they need, but we do have the added supplements for when they're going through a surgery, if they need a digestive enzyme. Switching of food is a big thing when you're changing different products. One's not working. Allergies is another thing that you really want to help. So we have digestive enzymes, we have electrolytes, we have the hip and joint supplements. So as they age or slip on ice, I mean, we're in a snowy area. Slipping on ice, it happens to dogs too. Yeah, so we're here to help them understand what supplements are best that will best meet their needs.
This is the time of the year when consumers out there are very focused on shopping small, which is a great thing, helping out, support small business, nonprofits such as yourself. Why do you feel that you fit very easily into that category?
Well, we are nonprofit. We are a small business. We are mostly ran, by myself. We have my son that runs here too, and we just try and keep it to where we know our customers. When they walk in, we remember their names, even if they've only shopped once. We're going to remember what they purchased. You're not going to get somebody who doesn't care. We'll walk around the store. We'll help you. We'll leave you alone. We'll give you your space as well. So we recognize each and every customer's needs, and we'll cater to them.
Definitely not a number when you walk into a small business. I love that. One of the net proceeds that basically you were able to provide for the past years here is something you're passionate about, which is canine cancer. Is that something that's more common than possibly a lot of people even realize?
Sadly, it's the #1 killing disease to our pets. So 1 in 4 pets will be diagnosed with cancer. So it is up there on the list. So it is preventative. It's taking care of the pets to catching it early. Our biggest thing is catch it early and see what preventative measures. It's like in human cancer. Sure. Catch it early and then help with that go forward.
Some of the proceeds that people are able to help with here by, just simply rounding up. Mm-hmm. Tell me, what do those proceeds go for? Are they looking for cures? Are they helping overall? Or like you said, if you find yourself without insurance? We
do all different things. We help with research. So we've helped CSU, okay, and we've funded money up there. We have customers who have pets with cancer. We'll either provide the food at 100% cost and just give it to them, or some of them don't want to take a free handout, and we'll discount the price considerably for them. Any way we can help the public as well as help with pet treatment. So we get applications on a regular basis to help with these people who can't afford cancer treatment. So vets will contact us and let us know, hey, can you help this pet? And they'll go through the screening process and we'll help fund for the treatment they're going through.
You guys are getting close to an anniversary. If you think back when you first started, is it kind of exciting to see what the store's evolved into, and what are you kind of hoping for the future?
Oh, it's changed considerably. I look back at pictures and I'm like, oh my gosh, where were we 4 years ago? It is night and day to look at the difference of, I brought in foods that I was so excited about. I'm like, this is going to sell great. And it didn't. And I was like, okay, I was wrong. And I keep up with the oncologist research and listening to the different customers, watching the customers grow. Over 4 years, you get to see everything your customer goes through. From giving them a hug from when they're having a bad day to watching their celebrations of a childbirth. It's amazing the changes and the growth that we've done.
Basically, this was something that you felt a need for. You were a pet owner, and you realized that a lot of other folks were going through this. As you look back, you realize where it has evolved. Like you said, it's night and day. Has this been rewarding for you?
It has been. I mean, we just had a customer in the other day, just today actually, and she was telling me her cancer story. And she's like, I struggled going through the cancer, and it was so nice to know I could come into a store that understood my story. Understood everything I was going through, someone I could talk to about my cancer that my dog was going through. And she's like, just people don't recognize it and understand, but you guys do.
That is so nice. Great for you to hear as well. Last time viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. You're going to see their contact information right there. If you're not sure of something you are looking for, give them a call. They will walk you through it. They love helping anyone out here in the local area. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV. And if you don't know, now you know.